Stranding. But why does it happen?
In the sport at 9:30, Scottish football bosses say the game faces catastrophic consequences without spectators as the Sports Minister asks for urgent financial support. And the head of World Rugby tells the Nine the Six Nations faces a drastic situation if fans are locked out of next year's tournament.
It's Wednesday night.
Hello and welcome to the Nine. But before that, let's catch up on everything that's been going on in the world of sport. It's a busy night everywhere. Laura, presumably you've got a busy desk as well, have you?
Busy desk, and it's not great news for the world of sport, is it, with this whole idea that fans are not going to be coming back any time soon, and we're covering that tonight in both football and rugby.
There's a real dearth of great news anywhere just now, isn't there?
Yes, sorry about that.
Carry on.
Thanks very much, Martin. Good evening. The governing bodies who run Scottish football are warning that a prolonged period without fans inside stadiums could have catastrophic consequences. The Scottish Government is now looking for a share of any financial support for UK sports. Well, Chris McLaughlin is our sports news correspondent. Chris, this is a reaction to yesterday's announcement from Nicola Sturgeon.
Yeah, it could collapse.
And Chris, I'm assuming it's not just football that's affected by this.
Absolutely.
For that update. Well, we heard from Neil Lennon there. His side are one of 4 Scottish clubs in Europa League action tomorrow night. Let's take a look at those fixtures. Remember, these are one-off games played to a finish tomorrow, and all the Premiership representatives are abroad. Celtic are in Latvia to play Riga FC. Motherwell had a lengthy trip to Israel. They are taking on Hapoel Beersheva. Aberdeen have the daunting task of taking on Portuguese giants Sporting Lisbon without Scott McKenna, who's completed a transfer to Nottingham Forest, and Rangers are in the Netherlands, where they'll play Willem II. Well, let's talk more about that particular game with the former Rangers midfielder Andy Halliday. Andy, thanks for joining us. Willem II were the 5th best side in Holland last season. How difficult will this tie be for Rangers?
Opposition.
Now let's talk about Alfredo Morelos, rarely out of the headlines, and he's come back into a bit of form with 3 goals in his last 2 games. It looked like he was on his way out of Ibrox. What have you made of him recently, and are you surprised he's still a Rangers player?
For the last couple of games when he's been back involved in the goals.
And you mentioned there that it's a big year for the club. What have you made of Rangers' start to what is just such an important season for them? The Nine this evening, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, for much of the pandemic, we've been talking in sporting terms about the impact on Scottish football. But rugby is the other big spectator sport, with regular crowds of 67,000 at Murrayfield. For the time being, those fans are locked out, and it's still unclear if the Six Nations will have to be played behind closed doors. Earlier, I spoke to the head of World Rugby, Brett Gosper, who outlined his concerns for the future.
A large part will be in very difficult situations.
Yeah, it could be quite some time before we have capacity crowds again. How much is rugby reliant on ticket sales to stay afloat compared to other sports, the most obvious one being football?
Yeah, football at some point.
What about the Six Nations? It's such an important tournament. It's obviously very popular here in Scotland. What would happen if we get to February and these games have to be played behind closed doors? This evening, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And he estimated that if the Six Nations couldn't go ahead with fans going to the games, they could lose an estimation of £100 million.
Wow.
It's really interesting, that, isn't it, his analysis? It just kind of lays bare. Rugby's a kind of a hand-to-mouth existence.
Yeah.
You know, if you pay your money, and you pay quite a lot of money for a seat in Murrayfield, that money's probably going to be used to pay the players at Edinburgh and Glasgow Rugby, straight into their wages. Yeah. Whereas in football, you know, if you're Rangers or a Celtic, the ticket receipts are a tiny fraction of the income of the club. It's really hand-to-mouth.
Yeah. I feel it's really sad watching those pictures as well with all the crowds.
Oh, you miss it. We miss so much, don't we? It's so weird.
One day, yes.
So weird. Not so long.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Laura. Now then, they are